So at this point, you should have a pretty good idea of how to get started using the GitHub website. In this module, we made sure to cover that GitHub is a hosting place for projects using Git. So it's not just the repository, it's not just for source control, it actually houses a lot more than that. And we've seen a lot of ways that we can use that and build upon it to do some pretty good things with our projects. And it makes it pretty easy to use as well. We've also looked at how we can set up our repositories on our accounts and on our organizations, and how we can get access to them in either location. It's also nice to see that the interfaces are pretty similar between the two. We also discussed how accounts and organizations differ, and a little bit about when you should use each one, because an account is great for a user, but an organization is great for a group, especially if you need to manage collaboration between those people. So it's good for companies, organizations, open source projects, and the like. We also covered a little bit about how you can collaborate and manage some of those permissions while you're working with the organization or the account. So if you are just working on a solo project and want to add one other guy, maybe two other people, you can collaborate and add an extra person as a collaborator on a project. But you could also work as an organization or convert your account to an organization and manage some of those permissions with teams. And we saw a little bit about that also. We also spent a little bit of time talking about how to manage information using issues, and it's a good way to track your work as you're progressing on things, even if you're a solo developer. We also talked about how to use wikis to store information, discuss, and get a lot out of the GitHub interface. And we also showed how to set up some pages, so you can give your project a public face with a little bit more information than what you get, and a little bit more customization than is standard in just the regular GitHub repository page. So I hope you've enjoyed this module. I think you've probably learned a lot, and I look forward to showing you more about the GitHub for Windows graphical user interface native application in the next module. Thanks again.